Yo, 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 hello everyone. This is actually episode 2 of the Hidden Frequencies podcast, and I said I wasn't going to make it last week, but obviously I lied and I'm here, so how's everyone doing? How's everyone cooking? How's everyone crack-a-lacking? You see my mouse play as well. But yeah. So this week, it's kind of a EGX special, as they say. I was over at Eurogamer the weekend, and I'm back now just in time for the podcast, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm your host, Manakado, and of course the other host, Gamer Guy in a suit. Hell yeah! we spent weeks coordinating that. That was that was a real big effort. But we're here again, and yeah, we're gonna start off the show with me talking about Eurogamer. So, Gamer Guy, you can just put on your chill suit. Yep, you got the work cut out for you, good sir, and I'll take it away. So yeah, Eurogamer is kind of a yearly event which happens in Birmingham. It's that's in the UK, if you don't know. UK is a floating island on its own, if you don't know. It's a shitty island, if you don't know. Nah, but anyway, yeah, it's kind of UK's biggest yearly event, and I had the courtesy of actually going this year. I went last year, but this year was kind of the first kind of real time where I've stayed more than one day. I kind of stayed the whole weekend, in fact, and I had the press pass as well, which is kind of like the dog's bollocks. So I was like, hell yeah, we've made it. I went with a good friend of mine, the Colonel. Without him, I wouldn't have even been able to kind of go there, so props to the Colonel. And we had lots of KFC together. That was freaking nice. That was the pinnacle of KFC. It's kind of funny, the one morning, me and the Colonel, we went to KFC, got some food, and then as we were driving along the road to go to the EGX, there was a McDonald's, and we got McDonald's as well. Same morning. Yeah, well, yeah. But yeah, so we stayed in Birmingham for 3 days. That's kind of like about 3 hours from where I am right now, and the hotel we were in was freaking, oh my god, it was the dog's bollocks. It was amazing. It was kind of like all scenery, greenery, freaking, I think it had the spa, gym. Fuck, like my mind's just gone fucking numb now. I'm thinking of it, like kind of, spa, gym. Fuck it, they had lots of shit. And yeah, the hotel was really nice, but moving on anyway, yeah, I met up with a few people at EGX as well. Kind of, two of those people were Xbox Gamer Reviews, which I only met through Twitter, and then Russ was kind of a big dude. He's cool, he's awesome, and unfortunately Bobby was kind of a short asshole, but I like them both. They're cool. We didn't get to talk long actually, because the first day I got to EGX, it was kind of we got there late. So, yeah, I said hi to them, and then I kind of just walked off. Bye. Never to see them again, because they just disintegrated into the face of the planet Earth. The second person I met was, of course, Maxon, which is another kind of person I met through Twitter, and we're kind of really race friends, and we ended up on this one game where there was leaderboards on her, and we ended up trying to beat each other, and well, yeah, he beat me, but whatever, that didn't count anyway, because I wasn't trying. It was on the game Zone 100, but I'll talk more about that. So, but yeah, I'm not gonna say day one, so we started going through this and this. I'll just kind of give you a brief overview now of the whole show, and yeah, I did kind of enjoy the whole show. It was a strong showing by kind of PlayStation. I didn't go in there because fuck PlayStation. Nah, kidding. PlayStation's booth was really massive, and kind of I liked it. Hey everyone, JT, sorry Warpigs, and yeah, so yeah, PlayStation had a big booth, and there was lots of games there as well, and it was a pretty nice time. However, I was kind of disappointed by Ubisoft, because they didn't even have a booth, whereas last year they had a massive booth for Assassin's Creed, and it was really nice by Ubisoft. But this year they're just yeah, fuck it, South Park, that's okay, one game will do. And someone else who really pissed me off was actually Xbox, because they were just like, yeah, okay, Gears of War 4, bye. And it's like, come on, you could have, like, you got PlayStation, like, waving around their wanger, and freaking it come to Xbox and they just kind of capitulated. I think they were more interested in Minecon, which is kind of, okay, I guess, if you really, really like that. But compared to last year, EGX was really big. Last year was kind of much more smaller and compact, but I guess this time it was bigger, but had kind of more free space, and a lot of it was filled by freaking burger vans and stuff, which I wasn't gonna get any food because it was like 10 quid for a freaking burger. Screw that. There's also some really nice cosplay stage where all the cosplayers were kind of jamming it, and oh yeah. But anyway, but there was lots of AAA games. There was Battlefield 1, which I actually managed to play. The queue was about, I think it was about an hour. Maybe it was longer, maybe it was shorter. But me and Colonel were talking to each other, kind of trolling. So it didn't really feel like we queued that long in Battlefield when I had lots of kind of fun on it. It was, I think I spent most of the time in the game in the kind of, in a heavy tank. And there was one kind of moment in the game which I really liked, because we were playing as the British against the Germans, and in the one part of the stage kind of had 5 enemies respawn in front of me because we were literally dominating every single flag. So they respawned in front of me, 5 people, and I was in a heavy tank, and I kind of just plowed through them all and spawn killed them. And the second game I only managed to play, I only played 2 AAAs. It was Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2, and I kind of really enjoyed Titanfall 2. I never played Titanfall before, but what I kind of liked on it was how fast the pilots died. And of course we had the headsets on, and I could hear some guy kind of on the mic going, lag, bullshit, lag, and it's like, what? It's a LAN, but okay. So he's there going, for fuck's sake, lag, bullshit. Yeah, but basically the rest of the event we kind of stayed at the indie section. It was EGX Res, it's called, and there was kind of, with that section you get to actually meet the developers, and as you're playing the game they lurk behind you and kind of breathe down your shoulder a bit. But that's what I like in the indie section, you know, whereas compared to the AAA section, it's kind of, there's just no one there from the dev team or anything. It's just kind of crew people going, next, come on, next, in line. But yeah, there was Call of Duty Infinity Warfare there, Advanced Warfare, or whatever it's called. I can't remember now, can't keep up. And there was a lot more AAA games too, but hang on a minute, my notifications or something's going on, but I don't know. But yeah, moving on to kind of indie games, the EGX Res section, there was kind of, I think there's about 40 or 50 games, but I mean, I'm not going to sit here and list them all out. I'll just kind of list the notable games I played, you know. And there was one game which I kind of really liked. It was called Drive, and it's basically a racing simulation management, well, not simulation, take simulation out there, a racing management type game where you control like 3 races at once. So it's kind of confusing maybe to explain, but when you switch between the kind of the racing tracks, the AI takes over as you race on the other one, and I thought it was a really cool game. You probably have to check that one out. So it's called Drive. I think it's coming out this year or next year on Steam. And I know it's a pretty shitty explanation, but you know, deal with it, I'm pretty shit explaining things, so. The next one was called Mechazoo, and it's kind of like a platformer game where you kind of switch in between kind of animals. It's coming out on Steam as well, and Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And with that game, it's kind of nice and colourful, and you come across kind of puzzles really where you kind of got to switch between animals, and when you beat the bosses, you unlock that kind of animal boss type thing. Again, another shitty explanations, but if you want to look up the game, it's called Mechazoo. It'll give you a much better explanation than me, because yeah. The third game was called Adventure Pals, which kind of reminded me of, I don't know if you played this game, Gamer Guy, but it's Adventures of Pip.
Mm-mm.
No? Okay, it's kind of like it's kind of like a colourful platformer. I think I may have something down here. No, I don't. Shit. Yes, I do. Let me see if it's kind of on the camera. But yeah, there you go. you won't be able to see that gamer guy. But it's called Adventure Pals, and I had lots of fun on it. It kind of reminded me a lot of a much better Adventures of Pip. So there's that. The next game I want to kind of mention is called Gang Beasts, and that's more of like a local fighter type game. But I don't mean a fighter, it's kind of like more of a... You got kind of wobbly characters which you kind of gotta just swing your arms and kind of knock each other out off the platform and kind of win. But that was also another really shitty explanation. I guess you'll get used to the shitty explanations. Again, if you want to look up these games, feel free to do so, because I'm doing frickin' terrible right now. But yeah, moving on. The other one is called Zone 100. And with that game, you kind of play as a sphere. It's a real simple game, this one. You're on a cylinder and you've got to like kind of move left and right through all these obstacles as they come along, and you could slow down and speed up. And basically it's kind of the furthest you can get without crashing, and you only get so many, well, you get as many lives as you can, but each time you die it kind of resets you at the back of the start of the stage. That was a good game, Zone 100. Black and White Bushido is kind of like, that one's much harder to explain actually, but with Black and White Bushido, one person plays as like the black ninja and the other plays as a white ninja. Now, nothing to do with race, it's kind of just colours. So, and with this, you're kind of on a stage, and you play as two characters jumping up and down, and you got to kill each other. But as you're trying to do that, this stage is kind of change colour, and the one person who's white can blend in with the whites, and just if you don't move, you go invisible. But the black guy is kind of exposed. But then when the stage turns black, the white guy is exposed. But it's, again, nothing to do with race, it's just colours. But again, if you want to actually look up for that game, of course, for much more information, it's Black and White Bushido. And of course, the last game I want to mention is called 88 Heroes. Again, that comes out to Xbox One and Steam very shortly, and that's basically, this one actually can explain really well. It's a platformer which you've got to get to a kind of escape point, but each time you spawn in, you've got to face different obstacles and enemies, but every time you spawn in, you, like, literally, you're a random character. One time you could be a giraffe, which hops high. The other time you could be like a kind of an elephant, which kind of rolls around and can't jump, and that game's pretty fun to do. I was terrible at it, but yeah, that's called 88 Heroes. But yeah, literally every single game at the indie section was awesome, and I mean, there's probably some I didn't mention, which I apologise for, which I'm sorry, but you know, again, it was really fun, the indie section. I literally spent most of my time there. There was meant to be a kind of mega indie booth as well, which kind of, at least I heard, they pulled out apparently, but that's kind of to do with tiny builds and all that stuff. Apparently, anyway, that's what I'm going by, kind of the information I had. The other kind of section at EGX was called Sega Left Field Collection, which they had more kind of eccentric indie titles there, which is kind of really nice, and there was a few there which kind of grabbed my attention. Again, like every single one I've seen in the booth, as far as I'm concerned, was pretty nice. The ones which really stuck out to me, there's one called Earhart, which really kind of, it's kind of top-down shooter, where you're in like a kind of a airship, shooting away at other ships in the kind of the sky, because why not? As you collect fish for coins in the sky, because yeah. The other one, the Colonel had the most fun on, was called Pico Nico, which is kind of like a platformer where you play as like a red blob thing as little legs, and you go around kicking NPCs and all that stuff. There's Sacramento, I think that comes out on Steam soon, or maybe it's out on Steam already, which is kind of like a walking simulator where it's got really kind of weird, like, colourful colours. And Far From Home, which I can't remember now. Far From Home. That's it, you're in a car, you're kind of dangling off a cliff, and it kind of plays out like a visual novel type thing, I guess, where you kind of get the options to choose from as you're dangling off a cliff in I think it's a kind of like a Citroen AX or some random thing. But as I said, I kind of hung around a lot by the indie games, and that was awesome because you get to meet lots of devs, talk to them, and I actually met like two people who I kind of been speaking with for the last year or so, and they're called, like, the guy's called Graham, and she's Chantel, and they're from Radiation Burn, which they do Live in Dungeon. I don't know. You know Live in Dungeon, don't you, gamer guy? So
Fantastic game.
yeah, I got to meet those two, which is freaking awesome. And he actually sat down with me and explained like the new game he's making now called Dead Exit, which is kind of like a more of a card-based game where you kind of gotta like do strategy and kill the other person. Again, a really shitty explanation. I'm sorry for not doing it any justice. I really didn't have much sleep at all, and I'm tired as hell. But blame that on a gamer guy, because why not? But yeah, he kind of sat down and really like taught me how to play the game Dead Exit, which is, again, it's a new game coming out, and I really appreciated that. So yeah, that was kind of the whole EGX in a nutshell. It was good, and I kind of rambled on for 15 minutes. Wow, I lasted more than I did in bed. That's freaking awesome. But yeah, kind of moving on from EGX now. Let's move on to the next section. Rant of the week. Is Gamer Guy fired up for this? Is he ready?
What do we got?
So this kind of rant of the week is all about Ultimate Edition, Season Passes, DLC, early enlister editions. And I was kind of looking earlier on the frickin' marketplace on Xbox, and I come to, I think it was Battlefield 1, and the price for the Ultimate Edition or Battlefield 1, which is basically the Season Pass, early access to the game, you get to play like 5 days early or some shit like that, and of course the base game, and the price of it was $130, and I was just like, oh my freaking god, that's gone up quite a bit. Hey Wolfie Lauren, Souza, and everyone else in chat, and thank you for the follow, Phony Spoon. Sorry, I kind of, you know, I was fixated out of chat. I was looking at my dick. My bad. But anyway, back to where we were at. So I heard Gamer Guy is a very avid fan of season passes and DLC.
Nah. You know, DLC in itself isn't too much of a problem as long as the game isn't overly reliant on it. Because I'll be honest with you, like for a game like Borderlands that comes with that much DLC and you know it ahead of time, I wait like 2 years to buy it so I can buy it for $5. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you kind of get those. I think it's like gold editions. I think it happened with Elder Scrolls right now. There's Elder Scrolls Online Gold Edition and freaking. What is it? I think it's Warner Bros. They literally every single game they do guarantee within 2 years they'll have a game with a year edition, which I find amusing.
Right.
Kind of like Batman Arkham Knight and all the other games. Like I think what was the other one? Oh fuck it, I can't remember. Oh, Lord of the Rings or something like that. It was some Shadow of Mordor. They did the same thing with that as well. But I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. I do love DLC when it's done right. For example, Witcher 3, I thought they did an amazing job because they actually showed they care about it. They took time and effort. But then you get some people who just use it again as kind of milking. You know, there's some games out there which literally day one DLC, which should have been base game content, which they're just like, no, let's take this as DLC. It's like, congratulations, your game is fucked and broken because you spent some of that development time doing DLC. Yeah. But
yeah, how about that's Ark was what, like day 0 DLC because technically that game's still not out yet.
Like day -0.
Right. Not cool. Just saying.
And it just really pisses me off, all the kind of season passes, because season passes you don't even freaking, like, you're not guaranteed nothing, you know, you get freaking, and the season passes are literally the prices of the freaking retail game now. It's like, what the hell is going on? So you can pay like a $60 game and then the season pass is $60, which none of the content you're even guaranteed for, which you don't even freaking know what it is. You're like literally throwing a freaking, oh, wait, there we go, I got good DLC, or I got shit DLC. I don't even know what DLC I got, because, you know, fuck DLC. So I think literally me and Gamer Guy again both on the same side for that. What we need to do is get a guest on who kind of loves DLC and getting shit early and, you know, doing all that stuff. But again, I think that's kind of like a horse which has been beaten over and over and over again to the point of where we just can't be fucking crying over anymore. But
no, it's never gonna change unless people stop buying that shit, you know.
Because that's the way you vote. I know a lot of people who are on my friends list and stuff are like, oh god, another DLC. How could they buy it? It's like, well, the only way you're gonna get to them is through the wallet, you know. you stop buying their DLC and they'll stop doing the DLC. Literally, they negotiate with the money and wallets. So, yeah, vote with your wallets, guys, or your purses, depending on which what you got. So, have you got anything else to cover in the Gamer Guide at all?
No, I think you pretty much nailed it right there. Because
Yeah.
really, yeah, I mean, like, I don't mind a little DLC. Like, if you're an indie game and you do little DLCs, which are basically like sponsor the developer, you know, little skins, little this and that for like $1 or $2, I'm not against that in any way. But the games that are literally so reliant on DLC, it bothers me. It really does. Like, they release a game knowing that this isn't even half the game. We're going to release only half the game, basically. We've already got the other half in development still.
Evolve.
And that just bothers me. Yeah.
Evolve the game.
Yeah.
That's literally a freaking... Yeah. Oh boy. It's kind of the same... It feels the same for me for with free-to-play games. I mean, some free-to-play games are awesome and they don't kind of force DLC and stuff on you. Well, if you can even call it DLC, but then other free-to-play games are kind of... To progress, you need to buy access to areas and stuff, kind of like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, because that went free-to-play, but of course you could only kind of just walk around and do very little unless you bought like a subscription, which is bullshit. But yeah, I'm not a fan of season passes at all, or DLC, and I'm really glad they pulled the online passes because that was freaking annoying too. But
And then don't even get me started on episodic content that doesn't ever have another episode that comes out for like a year at a time.
yeah,
That killed me too.
I've literally come to the conclusion now of just pretty much waiting for the episodic games to be fully complete, because otherwise the wait between the episodes, I forget what happens and it really kills the immersion. But what I love with episodic games is kind of, I like playing one episode every day or something like that. You know, I can't play like all 5 episodes in one day. I think that kind of ruins it a bit as well. So yeah.
Yeah, because you got to sit and stew on some of those decisions a little bit. Yeah. No, I like the idea of it, but I don't like waiting. There's sometimes now we're waiting, and I don't want to name any games in particular, but we've talked about it. There's some games that just you wait way too long.
Absolutely. AKA Blues and Bullets.
Right.
I think literally that's been like an episode every year. Well, not even that, maybe a year and like 5 months or something. It's been crazy, that one. I think that's, there's a few more games which I can't think of off the top of my head, but there we go. So,
Right.
moving on now, we come to the section backwards compatibility. That can be like kind of new games added to backwards compatibility, news about backwards compatibility games, and PlayStation as well, because PlayStation got the backwards compatibility. I don't know what it's called for PlayStation, but yeah. So the 2 new games added this week on Xbox One was Call of Duty 3. Hey, have you played Call of Duty 3 at all, Gamer Guy?
I'm not a big Call of Duty guy at all. I don't think I ever will be.
Yeah.
It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah. I found the funniest, like, I guess Call of Duty 3 was before they kind of blew up, and the best thing with that game was when you kind of was bleeding out online or multiplayer, you got shot and you could call for like a medic, and you'd expect your guy to be like, medic, but no, you get shot, you go down, you should go, medic. It's like the most laziest, uninspired kind of funniest thing ever. I did enjoy Call of Duty 3 playing online, and that was a long time ago. I was freaking, when I had friends much better than Gamer Guy, but unfortunately I had to stick with Gamer Guy because, yeah. The other one was called Word Puzzle. Have you heard of that game at all, Gamer Guy? Word Puzzle?
Word Puzzle? No, I don't think so.
So it's a 2007 Xbox Live arcade title based off word search puzzles. I think that sounds kind of right down your alley. But yeah, that game got added, which is like, yeah, I'm totally gonna go and play that now. Shit, totally not, but whatever. And it's kind of funny how they had those two. Well, I'm happy they added Call of Duty 3, but Word Puzzle, I mean, okay, I guess if anybody's an avid word search enthusiast, it's good for them. In the news of backwards compatibility, Phil Spencer has been kind of teasing with his Twitter prowess, as they say, Blue Dragon, which is a RPG game, one of the many few JRPG games to come to Xbox 360, which is a game I really enjoyed, Blue Dragon. And of course, the other game he teased was Skate 3, saying Skate 3 is very, very close to be added to backwards compatibility. The other news is that Criterion's working on a Burnout Paradise City to bring that to backwards compatibility, so you can play that on Xbox One, which is going to be pretty cool, because I did enjoy that game.
Burnout's freaking awesome.
And of course, we actually got some PlayStation news, and that's Red Dead Revolver actually appeared on the Exophase's trophy website, and what that could mean is basically, I'd say it's pretty much being, I don't know what the program is called for PlayStation, what the backwards compatibility program is called. Do you have any idea at all, Game Guy?
No idea at all.
Probably like, no, I don't freaking know. But yeah, so it seems Red Dead Revolver is going to somehow end up on PlayStation.
Undead something or other?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the whole backwards compatibility section. I'm going to have to come up with a better name for that. If you leave a comment below in the YouTube video, or even in Twitch chat now, we need a good name for the backwards compatibility section. But yeah, that's kind of the whole news of that. Now we go to the main news. Now this is really fun. I don't know if you remember last week where we kind of picked up on some rumours about Games of Gold. Gamer Guy?
What was it? Yeah, it didn't end up being anything that we liked, or that we called. It was, I mean, it was good stuff. Like, I think The Escapist is at the end of the month, but it was none of the stuff we called at all.
We were completely...
we were so far off. Yeah, we couldn't have been further off.
Oh, thanks, sources. You dicks. So yeah, right? It's MX versus ATV Reflex, which is kind of like a arcade racing type game. I Am Alive. Have you played I Am Alive at all?
I have on the Xbox, actually. It's on the 360. So that's actually a decent game.
That's pretty cool then. I think I've only kind of got a whiff of that one. I never really got around to playing it. I think it's something to do with like survival, exploration, or something like that.
Yeah. And it's actually a really decent game, and it's survival. It's kind of a 2D, 3D kind of mix. It's not like a fully open world, but it's fun. You get to do a lot of exploring and whatnot.
Oh, Shioka just confirmed it's called PS now, and he said it's complete shit.
Nah.
But he said if it's getting trophies and it's actually being coded for PS4, which means there isn't backwards compatibility. Well, there we go. News bomb. We guess it's actually coming out on PS4 then, right? As a kind of remaster maybe. So that means it'll probably come out to Xbox One as well, probably. And then that means they're gonna probably somewhat down the line hint at Red Dead, the new Red Dead, of course, which is all kind of interesting. Yeah. So yeah, basically, last week we fucked up with the Games of Gold.
Like, we couldn't have been farther off. Like, it wasn't anything that's gonna get released soon. It wasn't anything. Nothing at all.
I
looked at that list. I was like, oh damn it.
Yeah, I think it was something like Mafia 2 or Toil, something like that. But more news for Xbox One or Xbox 360 as it goes. On the marketplace, they've decided now for Forza Horizon 1, it's been kind of on sale for the last 3 weeks. It was backwards compatibility a few weeks back, and they decided to kind of delist it now completely, so you can't get the game and you can't get the DLC at all. They kind of pulled it all down, which is kind of weird really, but they said it's reached this end of life cycle, which is why I'm glad there's kind of physical copies. Of course, if you have bought the game digitally, you can like access it, but it means for anybody that haven't bought the game or didn't pick it up with Games of Gold, they can't get it at all now, and it's gone. It's gone down the... It's gone. Bye-bye. Which, you know, it's kind of scary really, where thinking of like a digital-only kind of age where if a game kind of expires with the licenses, or it kind of just poofs, that's it, you're done. You won't be able to get that game. Whereas, you know, physical... I think there was one game a while back, I can't exactly remember the name of it now, shit. This is going a while back, but basically they ended up infringing on a copyrights because of the game engine they used. They didn't have the license for it, and basically all the kind of copies were ordered to be destroyed and stuff, and if that was digital only, they could literally just pull it down and that's it, done, finished. No one could ever play the game. So I'm kind of thankful for physical as well. Moving onwards, there's kind of, after 6 months of the game being out, there's new Dark Souls 3 DLC coming out called Ashes of Ariandel. Again, it's a game which I've never freaking played and I have no idea about, and literally...
So if you have the season pass, do you get that DLC free, or how does that work?
As I said last week, I really need to do more research with the fucking news. I mean, I get a whiff of it. I'm like, yeah, awesome, there's new DLC coming out, but I've never played Dark Souls 3, so I can't really give you any more other than just Ashes of Ariandel's coming out. I don't know what that fucking implies or anything. I guess a new map or something. I don't freaking know.
Like, it sounds cool, but
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck it does.
It was cool, worth freaking noting down. So I guess, you know, if you want to look that up, you can look it up. You know, I'll give you this stuff. I'll give you just the tip, basically.
You're welcome for the lead, yeah.
Yeah. We're basically giving you just the tip. If you want to have it all, like, kind of thrusted in you, then go search it up yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. But, and then the next news, the final piece of news, is GTA 5 introduces the next update, which is called Bikers, where you can kind of make bike clubs and crews. And literally, this is not my fault now, but there's not much information on it whatsoever. So even if you do look it up, you won't be able to find any information about that, because Rockstar just like, yeah, next update's going to be bikers, that's all. You'll make bike clubs and have a great day. But I probably assume there's going to be, like, you know, lots of biker themed items and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I thought it was news worth bringing up and sharing for any of you GTA enthusiasts, as they say. Moving on to the next section, which is games streamed and played for the week. Now, obviously, I've been at Eurogamer, so I didn't play much at all, as far as I'm concerned. I didn't play nothing, I don't think. Let me quickly check back. But yeah, what games did you play, Gamer Guy, for this week?
Well, let's see. I'm looking at the list here, and I finished The Wolf Among Us. That was great. Wolf Among Us is an absolute top-notch game. Can't wait for the sequel. Wolf Among Us has got a great story. It's got a great flow to it. It's dark. It's twisted. It's great. It's grand. Had a lot of fun with it. Played episode 2 of Batman, finally, after waiting all week for it to break for some people, because, you know, it came out broken and wouldn't update for some people and would for others. That was... to kind of piggyback on your comment about physical copies, everybody that I knew that had a physical copy of that game, that obviously includes all the episodes, was having the same problem I was, which it said the episode had been purchased but was not available. Like, it hadn't come out yet, which obviously it had. But I finally got around to that last night. It was really good. Again, great story, great flow. The Telltale games are always fantastic, so we're good there. Disappointment of the week was the game I was looking forward to last week, Virginia. Yeah, $10 for less than an hour and a half worth of content that's entirely linear and you can't do anything about, and is just a really not all that impressive story or anything to begin with. Is horrible. The music was good, the art was good, and that's about it. It just ends right there. The gameplay was horrible, everything, it was just horrible. Horrible, awful, gave me a headache. Not a fan. Not a fan. And I don't think one person that was watching him stream enjoyed it either. Everybody was very vocal about their displeasure in the game. So, there's that. How was your week?
I was just looking at my history then on Xbox, and apparently I played Battle Ages, which is kind of like a Facebook type game where you kind of collect coins, and it's basically Clash of Clans, actually.
Oh god.
It's just a different version of Clash of Clans. So I was playing that for the week, kind of collecting my coins, and yeah, fucking kicking ass and being the number one at sucking dick. But anyway, and
right.
I managed to play a bit of Division as well with the Colonel, which was pretty fun. But I mean, I guess it was fun because I was just playing with Colonel. That's really it. I mean, it's an okay game. It's nothing really special. And I played and completed through, this one's going to impress Gamer Kid, but I played and completed through Minecraft Story Mode as well. Yes! I did all 18,000 episodes of them, and I was like, hell yeah.
Right.
And
Why couldn't I get 3 extra episodes of Wolf Among Us?
Yeah, exactly. Let's focus on Minecraft instead. But that was kind of that was different to say the least. And I had to say I'll hold my hands up and I said I enjoyed it. So there we go. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Minecraft Story Mode. Please put a gun to my head and shoot away or whatever you want to do. Minecraft, woo! Yeah. So, I mean, not really much there to talk about, but because Gamer God's been freaking working 20 hours per day, so he's had low game time as well. Yeah. So we've both been kind of busy, as they say. On to the next section. There's only a few more sections left now, guys, before you can piss off and actually get through this crap we call a podcast. But yeah, this is games released this week, and again, I'm sorry I didn't include PlayStation. I was limited on time, and just literally there's so many games being released. Well, actually, I did kind of include PlayStation releases this week, but I might have missed out on one or two. But the games released this week, surprise, surprise, is Firewatch on console. I think it's been on freaking Steam for about 7 years now. Usual kind of thing. I did play it on Steam when it came out. Firewatch is kind of like an explorative, at your own pace, kind of linear story. Well, it's not really. I don't know. Would you say it's linear? Have you played it at all?
I haven't, but it's in your account, I see, so I will be.
Yeah, it's. I enjoy the graphics of it, and kind of. I feel it's kind of. They try to make it as more of a free roam game, but it's kind of. It still kind of manages well to keep you on one certain path, so it is kind of. To me, it's linear, although it's not. But.
Not as bad as Virginia, though.
Oh no, definitely not as bad as that. But I kind of. There was a few people complaining about the longevity of it and kind of the story of the game, but again, I've only played like 30 minutes, so I've never really kind of teaved on to how well or bad it is. One of the other releases this week was Toil, which is kind of again a roguelike platformer where you play as a little kind of doll, where like basically the humans go to sleep and you come alive and kick ass in your attic and house, which your house is somewhat kind of randomly generated. So one day you could wake up and your attic's upstairs, and then above your attic is another attic, and then there's thousands of freaking skeletons and stuff. And I did do a preview for the game, and I think one of the best things on the preview, which I watched back, because I had the comment on the YouTube that said, "Did you really tell that grasshopper to fuck off?" And I was like, "What the hell?" So I clicked on the comment, I watched the video back, and it was basically in one part of the game, you get to speak to this NPC grasshopper, and your guy says hi, and the grasshopper basically says back, "Hey," in like a really shitty voice. And he's like, "How are you doing?" And the grasshopper starts going, "Well, so what we do?" And I just ended up saying "fuck off." I just it was gold. I have to link that in the description below. I can't remember doing it at all, but when I listened back to it, I was literally in stitches. That just proves how fucking exciting and fun my life is. It's shit, it's not. Of course, this one literally, I'm gonna go and break a rule. I'm gonna look it up, but. Another game which hit consoles was Eventide 1 Slavic Fable, and oh, that's not bad. That actually came out the start of this year for Steam, so basically 9 months 9-month wait for it to actually come onto consoles. It's a hidden object hopper, hidden object puzzle explorer, I don't fucking know. It's a hidden object game. I love them, and yeah, I'd probably definitely recommend that game, because fuck yeah, hidden object games rock. It's by FX Mundi, obviously, and they got like lots of games like Nightmares from the Deep and Grim Legends, and lots of cool shit. So yeah, that's kind of games being released this week. And there's a shed load of DLC. There's freaking, I looked at the list and I was like, fuck that, I'm not gonna fucking go through and list out every single kind of DLC. Apart from, I'll just say there's Destiny, which is the House of Iron or Wolves of Iron. Gee, I'm gonna get shot for that, aren't I? Come on, man, it's freaking Wolves of Iron. How could you not freaking know? I'm sorry, I don't freaking keep up with Destiny or that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's kind of like a new full-on. I guess it's £40. The big DLCs, which basically they play off as big, but they end up being shallow with the one dungeon, which you kind of play back and through over and over and over and over again. The only difference is that you have different starting points in the hopes that you won't know, but you really do know, and I did know. Because when I played Destiny, I got bored within like 2 hours because it was just the same old shit over and over again. It had as much depth as my game explanations did. So, and the other DLC is Battlefront again, another game which I was disappointed in because I was a diehard fan of Battlefront, 1 and 2 on the Xbox original, and yeah, this game is basically it's just too different. I prefer the arcade against bots, and the campaign I liked, and they took that out. I'm not sure if they added it back yet. They did say they were, but it wouldn't surprise me if they weren't going to add that back. But yeah, I think there's all kind of DLC. There's all kind of DLC this week, and yeah. Any kind of games you released this week which you noticed of, Gamer Guy?
Not in particular. I think that Can't Drive This is coming out that we messed around with.
Yeah. Oh, Virginia.
But,
Virginia released this week as well, but you had. Now we already covered that game. But
yeah, the game's garbage.
But I kind of. It was sad because Gamer Guy was actually really, really looking forward to a game, and it shot him down. Now I'm pretty much think he has no hopes for any games upcoming. Which brings us on nicely to our next topic. Any games excited for this month? Now I have 2 games myself. One's called Clustertruck. It comes out on Steam. I think it's 27th, which is tomorrow, or 2 days if you're in America, because right now it's 12:41 a.m. for me. That game is basically a truck former, a platform where you kind of got to jump in between the trucks, but if you land on the floor or any other piece of item, you fail and you have to start the level all over again. I kind of made a preview on the hidden levels YouTube. Again, I'll link that below. That game was super fun to play, and it was published by Tiny Build, and yeah, Clustertruck, check it out. The other one is kind of a burly men at sea, and it's a folk tale about a trio of large bearded fishermen who step away from the ordinary to seek adventure. Set in the early 20th century Scandinavian, the game's story branches through a series of encounters with creatures from folklore, and you could tell I just straight up fucking read that out because why not? Oh, that's funny. But it's a unique storybook and narrative styled game, basically visual novel, I guess. But yeah, that's my second game I'm kind of looking forward to this month, both on Steam, which is kind of funny because I've been banging on about Xbox One, but 2 Steam games I'm looking forward to. So what about you, Gamer Guy?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well, like majorly. There's also that game I was messing around with, Office Freakout, that looks pretty fun. But another one, because I'm all about these Steam games that nobody's heard of, Serial Cleaner, which looks like you basically go up and clean after serial killer, after killers back in the 70s, after professional hitmen and whatnot. It almost looks like it's got like a party hard kind of top-down aesthetic going on to it, but it looks like a lot of fun. So I'll be looking forward to that. September 29th.
Yeah, literally, the game's released this month. We only got like 3 days left in the freaking month, and what I loved, there's like 2 Xbox One games coming out at the end. There's like these 3 days. I think there's about like 2 PlayStation games as well, and then I looked at Steam list and it's like fucking 30. It's just fucking crazy. Steam's like, take all my games and fucking eat them, shove all my games in my ass. So Shioka, thank God, Shioka kind of corrected me again. Firewatch has been out on PS4 for a year. That's correct. Yeah, Firewatch. I think it came to PlayStation first, which is great correction. Then it came to Steam, and now it's finally coming to Xbox One because, yeah, that's correct. I think it came PlayStation and Steam at the same time, but yeah, so it finally comes to Xbox One. So there we go. There's that. So thanks Shioka again for, inevitably correcting my freaking assholeness. Alright, so moving on, delays, problems, and such. We kind of missed news last week on the first episode, and this actually Hyperlife Light Drifter developer Heart Machine updated its Kickstarter backers that the planned Wii U and Vita ports of the game are cancelled completely, not even happening. And yeah, so Hyperlight Drifter, if you're looking forward to for Wii U and Vita. It's just not happening now. They've cancelled it completely. So rip.
Rip total.
But that game was actually really, really fun from what I've seen, what I kind of been watching, and I kind of loved the unique art style of it. Have you seen Hyperlight Drifter at all, Gamer Guy? Or
No, not much of it. No.
yeah, so we're on to our final section now. It's kind of the rumor section, and this one's kind of really, really a weird subject, and one which is kind of, I don't know, it's got a lot of controversy, and it might all be bullshit, it might not be bullshit, but anyway, the Nintendo NX it may be delayed, because they said it's going to be released March 2017, but still there's been no specific release date, no info. There's just, it's either they got really, really bad marketing, or there's just freaking what, because if a console's coming out March, they should be advertising it already, they should be kind of really pushing it, but again, we don't even know if it's a handheld, we don't know nothing about it at all, and what is Nintendo NX? What is it? But apparently it's still coming March 2017, that's the official word on it, but I just can't see that being possible at all. Have you got any input on it at all, Gamer Guy?
Honestly, I think they're using that as part of their marketing technique. The vagueness of it is to kind of drive up interest.
I think that's gonna, honestly, myself personally, I think that's just gonna freaking flop it more. They're not really in a position to do that. They're far from a position
I
to
think it's a horrible idea. Yep. It's an absolutely shit idea, but I really think that that's the angle they're going for.
You could shoot me if
they're
I'm
like,
wrong.
ooh, we're mysterious, and we're like, yeah, you haven't done anything good enough the last few years to fucking do this, so you might want to stop.
They kind of, I have not kind of the last few years I kind of distanced myself from Nintendo because of certain things they've been doing, but
yeah,
I kind of I don't think it's a good idea for them right now to be they want to kind of be
it's hard to get
because there's actually quite a few like diehard Nintendo friends of mine who've kind of been like really pissed off Nintendo as well, so yeah. So, yeah, Nintendo NX, guys, March 2017 apparently. And it's funny because we don't cover Nintendo news, but I figured we might as well cover something bad from Nintendo just for no reason. But because I kind of want answers as well. But yeah, that's kind of the whole podcast in a nutshell. I kind of hope you enjoyed this episode. It's 47 minutes. It's a new personal best. It's again longer than me and Game Guys ever lasted in bed. Yeah. It's longer, and we're gonna add a new section to this podcast now. It's called Pointless Question of the Week, and me and Gamer Guy ain't gonna answer it. We're gonna leave it to you if you want to answer in chat, or if you want to answer it below in kind of the comments. So the pointless question of the week is: would you rather drink orange juice expecting it to be milk, or drink milk expecting it to be orange juice? So yeah, guys, thanks again for watching, and I hope you tune in next week. It's Sunday, 12 AM UK time, 7 PM EDT, or 4 PM PST, right?
Right.
So yeah, again, and hopefully next week we'll actually have our first ever guest, because we'll be open to guests then. As you see right now, again, our layout's still shit. Gamer Guy's still labelled in the guest as well, so there's basically, he's 2 as 1 right now. Fucking winner, chicken dinner, woo. Alright guys, thanks for watching again, and thank you everyone for sticking around. I appreciate it, and me and Gamer Guy will see you next week. Alright, bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, wait. How's the